Great to see so many people already here. Give everybody a chance to come in. Hope everyone's doing well. Yes, I'm live right now. Beautiful. Give everybody a chance to kind of come in, spend a little time together this evening, reflect on a lot of things that Most High is sharing with us right now. Shalom, family. Shalom. It's amazing times right now. It's a beautiful time. Thank you, Sister Ancient Gardener. Thank you for being here to take care of Memsa. Yasharel, thank you also. Thank you, 12. Great seeing you. All right. Got the moderators here. Take care of everything as well. All praises. Thank you. I'm feeling great. All praises to the Most High. Thank you. So we're just gonna get a little time to spend some time together. I said, because I mean, every time you look up at the news, things are getting worse and worse, and it's beautiful because we can have a little time to just kind of reflect on the things the Most High is showing us, and then apply that information to what's happening and what we're seeing going on worldwide right now. Yes, sir, Unity. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You know, it's just it's crazy. Hold on, Russ. There is so much happening, Warrior Princess. It's just beautiful. You know, just the Father is fulfilling His covenant that He said He's going to fulfill with us. You know, I just think it's a beautiful time for us to be able to spend some time together. You know, spend some time together, talking a little bit. Spend, you know, like I said, shooting it up, cutting it up, chopping it up right now. I don't know much about China's fake sun right now, so if you know about that, go ahead and put that in the comment section right here. You know, enlighten us a little bit. You know, there's so many. You know, there's so many different topics we can get into right now. Hey, brother D'Angelo, great seeing you. Great seeing you here. It's a beautiful time for us all to be able to come together and share information. You know, I said because the Most High is definitely bringing this world to its knees. Definitely, like I said, Most High willing, we can keep doing these lives more often because, like I said, I think it's important for us to come together as a nation now and share this information and just get this. You're just getting confirmation every day. That Jacob 5:64 about how as we grow, that He's going to be taking the other nations and you know He's going to be sweeping them off the lands. You know, I don't think that that's just the lands here in America. I'm thinking that's just a worldwide thing. You know, yeah, I'm not really into the whole fake sun thing too much. I mean, there's other things I'm just kind of focusing on. I said, but just whatever it is. See if Israel did a story on the China's fake sun. Okay, that's cool. I said, you know, most High's putting that spirit everywhere to get this information out in many different areas. Make sure I turn this TV all the way down. I don't want anything coming out and say, oh, copyright. Heart flames, yes. Thank you. I was the person. I was the one who sent me the video from this morning that I shared, and that video. I said, like any video, you know, you know, chew the meat, spit out the bones. You know, and like in any information that we get, any videos we get. I mean, you know, we understand that like in anything that we get, we have to kind of, you know, we have to vet it. We have to kind of go through it. We have to read it, kind of see what makes sense, what doesn't. Some things that I bring out might not make sense to some people. They might not agree with it, and that's fine. You know, but like I always say, you know, we can disagree, just disagree, you know, respectively. You know, respectively. That's the way we do it around here. That's all. You know, I said not all the information that I get in these books, excuse me, is gonna be correct. You know, definitely gonna be some information, some lies kind of mixed in with the truth, and you have to kind of, delve in there and kind of, go around and get what you can get. The reference, yeah, get the secret teachings of ages of Manly P. Hall. You know what? Hold on, because I said I'm in my room here. Let me see what I got here. Ugh. Hold on. I do have this one. This is big old huge book right here. Okay, and I think it kind of goes with this. Let me see what it's called again. Uh, the Secret Teachings of All Ages. Yeah, and this book is just got so much information. What's crazy is, what I'll kind of show you guys. Let me flip the screen here. Here's like what it looks like. Like, look at all like the writing on it. How small it is. Kind of like just flipped open to the Druid stuff. Like, it just kind of flipped over, but just look at all the information right here about the Druids from Manly P. Hall. And you can, you can get a little closer, and what you guys can do is you guys can pause it later and kind of check it out. This is just one page. And what was crazy, I did one video on this. I'm gonna do with the information I share with you guys about what was it, the sun, all the phases of the sun actually being the representatives of the Trinity. How the morning was a representative of the Father, the daylight was a representative of the Son, and evening was a representative of the earthly mother, the Holy Spirit. And I actually got that from Brother Jerome. He actually has this book as well, and he was the one that was telling me, "Hey, find this part, go this right here," and you can see how much information. I can get a little closer. Yeah, you have to see it later on. I mean, like I said, what I can do is it is really difficult to like do videos on it because the writing is so small. You have to take so many pictures just for one page. Here, let me see if I can skip it to another section here. But you got, when you get these kinds of things, like, okay, where did Manly P. Hall get all this stuff from? Where did he get all this information from? I mean, look at this. And you can't just discount all this information. You just can't ignore, all this stuff that these guys have. Because many people say, "Oh, don't read these books." I mean, these is great information. It's our information. Now when you understand about like from the video last night about Harry Potter and how you realize that the Druids had, um, what is it, 40 colleges with 60,000 students. Yeah, the Manly P. Hall Society is an excellent channel. Yes, um, and these people were in school for 20 years. I mean, what do you think? I mean, what do you think they're doing for 20 years? I mean, you're going through 20 years of education. So, I mean, this, like I said, this is just, like I said, this is just a really small. What is this one here? Table of Isis. I kind of got some. Y'all can check this out. But it's buffering a lot already. I'll try to get small. I'll get closer so you guys can see this right here. So, this book, what is this one right here? After I did one video on it, then I think there was another person who actually $800. But they always talk about how Manly P. Hall is a Satanist and this and that. And I like, just another way of keeping you from reading your information. Like this dude just bringing out a whole lot of information, and whatever information you don't agree with, just ignore, right? I said, but you're trying to say all this is just Satan's information right here? Just take a look at this. Because this is just one page, family. This is why you have to read it for yourself and then come up with this information on your own. Satan doesn't have this kind of information. This information was not given to Satan. This is the information that was given to our people, and they got their hands on it. There's that right there, that Sefer Yetzirah right there. So they're making a lot of these books that we are trying to get and looking for is definitely is referred to here and here. It's referred to in these books. Yes, gematria, exactly. I mean, look at this here. This is all this one section right here. And over here is another section. But this, here, let's look at this. If I can get it to. A magnifying glass, exactly, right? Because that's how, I mean, this thing is like packed with information. So yeah, what we'll do is, like I said, we'll try to do some more. I'll just try to, if we can do some of these lives. I got some of these books here. I'll just kind of like go through them and do that, and you guys can pause it later on, and kind of go through it yourselves. But yeah, I mean, like I said, this stuff is just, it's mind blowing information. And someone had put in the comment section, which is so true, that knowledge, is our heritage, and I totally agree with that. Knowledge is definitely our heritage. I said that information yesterday from that book, talking about the 40 colleges and the 60,000 students and the 20 years of being in college, being in school. I was like, now imagine what they were teaching for 20 years. It takes you 20 years to go through their process. And that's it. It's a a lifetime amount of info. But that's all our heritage. That's all our heritage. And as the Most High, like he said, we had a covenant. He gives it back to us. The other nations are going to fall. Now you get back to the title of the video. I was taking a look at Desert Prepper, Paul and Adrian's, their videos, and they were talking about, today NATO and Russia has been meeting, trying to figure out, a way to avert war over there in the Ukraine. And NATO just said, we don't care what you have to say. We don't care what you want. No to everything. No, no, no. And it's like, as Russia, and I said, now is the time. Like, hey, what's happening with our nation right now is dictating what's going to happen with the other nations. You know what I'm saying? So as we are finding out all of our heritage again, not just part of it, not just the part they want to approve, but once the Most High has now given us our heritage back, and we are accepting it, and we are gravitating to it, and we are internalizing it. I said, the more that we do that, the more the other nations are going to fall. And as you can see, you see it in their faces. You see it in a lot of these guys. Wow, that's crazy. Let me know. Let me know. Shalom, Rosie. Great seeing you. Is it better now? Okay, good. Yeah, I connected to Wi-Fi, so hopefully it's better now. Okay, good. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, so thank you for that. Okay, cool. Now we got people back. Um, you know, they still have not figured out that we are, we're the key to prophecy. And this is why things are not going to get better. Just when I did that video about how in the stars and that eclipse in last December was pretty much showing you that something was going to happen big with Russia. And nothing happened yet. And people are like, "Oh, look, Big Judy, you were wrong." I'm like, "Bruh," I said, "the year's not even over with." I said, "Trust me, I don't think you want to rush this." I said, "Because whatever's about to go down with Russia," I said, "it's going to be absolutely huge. It's going to be enormous." I said, "So just understand." I said, "Hey, take the fact that the Most High is kind of giving you a little bit more time to, embrace this truth. Maybe get an opportunity to, right some wrongs." I said, "Don't be so quick," because a lot of them they're so used to close calls and then everything going back to normal, and close calls, and and everything goes back to normal. It seems like something's going to happen and everything falls apart and everything goes back to normal. As you can see, nothing's going back to normal. Yeah, Desert Prepper. Actually, his picture is what I use for the thumbnail. So if you look at the thumbnail, his information is right there for his channel. Okay. And like I said, everything revolves around the Israelites. But see, the whole world's forgotten that because they've written us out of everything. They've written us out of history. On everything in history revolves around the Israelites. When they came up is because they got our information. And then all of a sudden, they got our information, they got a little bit of understanding, and we lost all of our understanding. We lost all of our information. And then we went to the bottom. And there seems to be a big correlation between knowledge and understanding and your standing in the world. You know, I can definitely try Capstone. I can definitely try. I can try to take some pictures and put it in there, and I'll try to put some of them on whatchamacallit, on PDF. Okay, as best as I possibly can. We can PDF it that way. I'll try to get my technical support, which would be one of my sons, to take care of that for us. Okay. If you have to take a couple of pictures at a time or whatever else and kind of figure it out, we can do that definitely. Okay. But I'm checking out some of the comments, but yeah, but that's the thing. We're definitely going to, like I said, you can tell that a lot of these Gentiles are scared. You can see a lot of them are very, very scared because you know what? It's a different time. Everything is different right now. Nothing is working out the way they thought. Yeah, definitely. Dabu 777. Yes, he's definitely good information as well. But just look. Just look at what is going on right now. Yes, you can see that they're terrified. You can see even like the guy Paul and Adrian's like, well, I'm hoping, I'm hoping things are going to get better, but he's actually more realistic. He's like, we're in the what is it? We're in the tribulation. A lot of people don't want to believe it, but see, they're still getting it wrong because we've been in the tribulation for the last few hundred years. It wasn't tribulation for them, and that's all part of it. They have not realized the fact that the tribulation has been going on. Tribulation goes on for certain people. If tribulation has been going on for the Israelites for a very long time, and they don't want to admit that. They don't want to admit the fact that they've been responsible, for the tribulation that we've been going through. You know what I'm saying? They still talking about, oh, well, they think that because now they're having to suffer through a few things, that now the tribulation is just starting right now. And technically, it kind of is just starting for the other nations because they've been living in paradise. They've been, living in the blessings for such a long time. But now the Most High has given us more and more information, more and more understanding. And, the information, as you can see, many of these books have been there. What I've seen from a lot of brothers is some people have been awakened for a long time, and they've been collecting a lot of these books. They've been collecting a lot of this information. I had an email where one of the subscribers sent me that their grandfather, I think, was already researching some of the Kabbalah and some of this information, and then it passed that information down to them. So they just came into this new information right now. Is that not the Most High right there? Is that not? I mean, is that not? Probably back then when their grandparents could probably get the information when people weren't looking for it, probably get it a lot cheaper. And he has notes, and I'm sure he has books. He has a lot of understanding. Books that like now, like some of these books, if you look on the back of them, it says, oh, it was $2, it was $5, it was $6, and now that book is now $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. You see what I'm saying? So like this is what we're in right now. I said, so before, they were kind of, they were loose with the information because we weren't looking for it. It wasn't our time yet. It wasn't our time to get this understanding. But now that it's time for us to get this understanding, they're still trying to be they still got their roadblocks. They still got the situation, they got their people, they that they're still being roadblocks and things like that. But the Most High is going to get us whatever it is that we need because it's ours. It's not like we're getting new stuff. It's not like we're taking things from them. Most High is returning things back to us. You see what I'm saying? He's returning our information back to us. And now when you understand, that we had those colleges, that, someone was like, it was funny. Some of the comments, are pretty hilarious. Oh, you were teaching Mormonism, and now you're teaching that, Yahushua went to Britain to go, for to be taught or whatever else. And I'm like, bro, why are you mad at me? I said, why aren't you guys ever mad at the ones who have lied to you? It's like, oh, that's just ridiculous. Why does it have to be ridiculous? Why does it have to be ridiculous that, Yahushua went somewhere for training? Someone actually sent me something, I think, from the Seal portion. A brother actually, I think, or sister actually sent me like one of the verses, I think out of the Silk portion, that was talking about how Yahushua was trained. He had to go somewhere for training. Well, but they don't tell you where. But then the Most High kind of puts the information to, in this book, and you start putting two and two together about, okay, there's all these colleges. I said they're actually teaching, I'm sure, the most pure form of our religion, or our religious practices. They knew that the Druids were following their patriarchs, our patriarchs. So it's like, you just start putting pieces together. You get from this book, you get some information. From that book, you get some information, and it all comes together. You get a whole Hollywood understanding, and you get the fact that they put it together for us. They put it together in the movie. Hey, thanks, man, for putting out Harry Potter. Now we can figure out what was going on. I said because they're proud and they want to be able to put this. When you know something and other people don't know it, but there's a few of you guys who know it, and you guys you can put stuff out and kind of laugh like because you know the truth, but nobody else really does. And it was cool. They could do stuff like that. Put out all of our information, put it in movies, make billions of dollars off of it, and be laughing because we're the ones going to these movies and man, I love that movie. That was an awesome movie. I mean, and then they're making all this money right in our face. Exactly, it's in our face. And then you later on, it's like, hold on, that movie's about us. Those movies are about us. That movie, Harry Potter, that's about Yahushua going and getting training. That's about him. I said, so like I said, so it's like, okay, yeah, okay, you can laugh. All right, man. All right, joke's on us. Okay, we got it. We got it now. But see, now the joke's gonna be on you. I said, right in our face the whole time. I said, but the jokes in the last part is going to be on you because the Most High is going to, he's going to expose you. Capitalizing off of us. Exactly. They don't have. I mean, if they didn't have history, they didn't have any of the, any of this information, then where are they getting all these ideas from? I mean, you know what I'm saying? So like, once you understand that, once you kind of really grasp that, and you get that understanding that they didn't have these understandings, they didn't have this information, then you start to question, where are you getting it from? You guys, where are you getting this information from? What, and then you start putting two and two together because that's the times that we're in. And it said it's in absolutely wonderful times right now that we can actually be alive to see the Most High, giving us back our knowledge and understanding. But, you can just tell, like I said, the Desert Prepper, I mean, he's worried because NATO just pretty much just punked Russia and just said, yeah, we're not giving you anything. We know you guys don't want us, on your borders. We're going to be on your borders anyways. Yeah, you guys want these concessions. Yeah, we don't care. We're going to do what we want to do. So I heard that I saw a story where they were having, there was Russians have a sub that they couldn't find, and they're trying to find this, the sub, and they couldn't find it. And then I heard also that I heard that for a couple of days ago. So they got some high tech sub the Russians do, and that the Americans can't find it, and then the Americans have some sub going into Russian waters right now. And then there was some cables cut or whatever else for Norway, I think, or one of those countries, and where the United States have some of their military equipment stationed, and they have a bunch of satellites. So it's just like the war's already started. Many things are already going on, to anticipate what's about to happen in the future. We know that 5G, is eventually going to be turned on. I said so. There's all these different confluence of events right now. It's all coming. You can tell exactly. People are scared. I'm just funny. I listened. What is it? The New York Prepper. He's funny because he's like you can just tell he's a hardcore Republican. He still thinks rah rah America. We always win. We're always okay. I'm like, oh, just sitting there, just listen to him. Like, man, you just just living in la la land. You know what I'm saying? Just totally oblivious. I was like, bruh, do you guys think you guys are ever gonna have to pay for any of the things you guys do wrong, or you just your whole view of history, is just warped. They're still thinking about, oh, we're Christian and we're this and we're that. We're a Christian nation, and white Jesus has let us rape, rob, and murder, and white Jesus is going to now take us away so we don't have to pay for anything. I mean, come on now. You start seeing how society is collapsing because of we all know what's going on right now. What's just going crazy right now, and it's just making it so that it's difficult to maintain society because people are getting sick and and just it's just affecting so many different uh, parts of society. I said so, but it's like you don't read that Bible though. I said, once, we were asleep. We were asleep, for a time, but when the time of the Gentiles is over with, we're going to be awakened. We're going to be shaking off that, we're shaking off that slumber. We're going to shaking off that stupor. And once we shake off that stupor, I said that just as another sign that the times of the Gentiles are over. I said, yeah, I said, and then it's just funny because you remember how like they were able to laugh when they made the, what I just kind of most I just kind of put that in my head. You know how as they made the movies and about us, and we are paying all this money to go and see the movies, and they're behind the scenes laughing about look at these dumb people. I said we made the movies. This actually is their information, and and they're actually praising us that we've come up with all this stuff, and they're paying us all this money to come up with these movies, and it's all about them. So they're laughing and laughing in the background, right? Well, now it's kind of the same things happening, but in reverse. Hey, look at these guys. They still think that they're going to get raptured. Look at these guys. They still think that that they're still like the mightiest country ever, and that they're always going to be on top. And look at them. They still think that things are going to get better. And now we're kind of like sitting in the back, like now we're laughing at them because it's like, yeah, we know the truth, and we actually know what's really going on. We can actually see what's really going on, and these people are like absolutely oblivious to that. Exactly. We're going to get the last laugh. Most High's going to get the last laugh. You know what I'm saying? Most High's going to get that last laugh. But but you can see them. You can see them. And at the end of their shows, it's always, well, yes, things are horrible, but I have my faith in Jesus Christ, and Jesus Christ is, give your life to the Lord, and say the sinner's prayer, and and everything's going to be fine. And do you guys think you're going to be able to? Everything's going to be fine, and you're never going to have to repent for what you did to the Most High's chosen people? You think that you're just gonna I just say Jesus Christ, and then I'm good, and no one has to pay for the rape, rob, murder of our people, the stealing of our information. I said, I mean, you really think that that's what's going to happen right now? Well, apparently they really do. I said, but hey, ignorance is bliss. If that's what how they want to live, and continue with everything, then that's cool. you know and that's it. I mean, you know what, I mean, I guess it would be kind of scary to admit that what we're saying is true. I guess it would be a really difficult thing to admit that you're going to have to pay for the things that have happened to our people. Yes, he does. He always says it, everybody, for him to say the sinner's prayer. Like, you know what, but I guess, like, what I guess the alternative, we're trying to tell them what the alternative is, but they don't want to hear it. Hey, you're going to have to cleave to the Most High's chosen people. You want to cleave to our power. You want to try to get some semblance of some kind of mercy. You're going to have to, bow down to the Most High. You're going to have to cleave to the Most High's chosen people, and you're going to have to listen to these people. I said, and the vast majority of them, refuse to do that. I mean, there's just too much pride. Too much pride. I said, that's what the Most High has done to us. I mean, he's beaten us down so much that many of us had lost all like pride. There's like nothing to be proud of because we were beaten down so much. And then like now the Most High has given us back our heritage. Like, we've been beaten down so much that so many people refuse to even accept the fact that that's even a possibility. What do you mean we come from greatness? What do you mean? That we were actually the teachers of the world. What are you talking about? No, it's always been the white man. No, it hasn't. But see, we've been beaten down so much that we can't even, many of our people can't even accept that. Even though you can give them all this proof, you can give them all this information, they still refuse to even think that that would be a possibility. That there would be a world actually without the white man being on top. They just really can't even fathom that. And like I said, this information, I said, I mean, once you start to get it, it's like you can't put the genie back in the in the bottle. Once you start to get the fact that of who we are, you get that understanding of who we are. I said, you can't put that back in the bottle. You can't just, yeah, no, I'm just gonna let them go ahead and run everything again. I'm just gonna go back to sleep. I'm gonna go back to sleep. No, it doesn't work like that. That's why they try so hard to not even let it happen. But you know what? I mean, it didn't happen before because it was the Most High. Which, this information's been here. A lot of these books have been here. They've been here since the 1700s, 1800s, 1900s. Some are pretty recent, but when you don't know what to look for, or you've been scared to not look at anything, you can just tell. Like I said, that's all the Most High. He just said it wasn't time yet for you to get this information. I have one book that's on the way, and I'm not gonna say anything about it till it gets here. But I mean, the brother actually died for bringing this information out, you know, and I'm sure how many of our people have died writing these books, have died bringing out this information, you know, so that at the end, the Most High could now give us this information, you know, so when it is time, you know what I mean? So when it is time for us to get this information, the Most High makes sure we get it back in our hands. And it doesn't matter who says that, no, that's not ours. Don't read that. Don't look at that. Once the Most High puts that spirit on you to chase after your heritage, I said there's nothing that they can do to stop it. It's like the awakening is here, you know. I said, so there's nothing they can do about that, you know. I never thought we'd be doing these kinds of videos on this kind of information when I first started doing this channel. You know, I was content, you know, hey, I was Bible only, well, for a little bit. And then my brother, you know, as the 12 and I started getting into Enoch and started getting into some other books. We started reading these other books and stuff, and it's just like, you know, and it's just snowballed into other information and things like that. And it's just like but then, like I said, last night, that video I said with Harry Potter, I said, was huge, because then it shows you that, you know, 40 colleges, 60,000 students, 20 years of curriculum. So that just confirms the fact that there's no way they were only teaching the Bible only. There's no way they're only teaching 5 or 6 books. You know what I mean? I said there's no way that that's even possible, because, you know, now you gotta think, like, it wasn't these colleges that are here now. It wasn't the people here now that was, even though they whitewash all the pictures. I said it wasn't them that had all that information. I said it was our people that had that information, because once you understand that it was given to Adam, and it was given down to Enoch, and then given down to Noah, and then given down to Moses, and given down to, you know, David and Solomon. And and then you realize that you're the Israelites. It's kind of like a reverse engineering. You figure out who you are, and then you kind of work your way back into the things that they were given, and you realize that, okay, it wasn't given to Ish, it was given to our people. But, you know, first thing had to be first. You had to be established that the Bible was talking about you. Once you realize that the Bible is talking about you, then when you start to get to all this other information, you realize this other information is now talking about you. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like reverse engineering. We have to kind of, like, you know, get a good foundation of who we are, how we're in the scriptures, how we can definitely prove that the Bible is ours. Then the Most High can start downloading all this other information, giving us all this other confirmation. You know what I mean? So even like the video that I shared this morning, they still make their little things about Ish and Jewish and people, and it's just, you know, this, and, you know, the Phoenicians, and, you know the Irish and stuff like that. But we know who they're talking about. You know what I mean? We know who they're talking about. So like I said, but the way that the Most High set it up is the way it had to go down. We had to first find out who we were as a people. And many have just stopped at that. That, okay, we're the Israelites, the Bible's our book, okay. But then now this other information is coming out, like the Zohar, you know, the stuff that they talk about the Talmud. I haven't gotten into the Talmud yet or anything like that. But they talk about how, you know, those Ish's books. So like, well, we know Ish didn't have any of this stuff. That Ish just pretty much just copies whatever, you know. But the thing is that everyone's been getting a piece of our heritage. So it doesn't really matter who they say things are attributed to. You know what I'm saying? It is all orchestrated. You know what I mean? It's definitely all orchestrated. They were the students and we were the teachers, and that's exactly it. They were the students and we were the teachers. You know? And what's beautiful is, like, now, you know, trying to get into some different information, trying to get some different understanding, and the Most High is leading me to other people that can teach me other things. You see what I'm saying? You know, other people that are, you know, and that's how I feel like it is in Israel. And it talks about that even in some of these other books, that, you know, everyone kind of like has their niche, so that when when it's time for you to go learn something, you have, you know, someone to go and learn from. You know, and I know that that's exactly how, you know, how it is. Like, you know, I want to learn more about the spiritual things, you know, and I have to be led to someone who actually understands spiritual things, in order, you know, because I don't understand some of this stuff. So, you know, Most High has me going with others. You know, if it's a sister who actually, I feel like a lot of the women have a lot more understanding of a lot of these spiritual things than many of us men. You know, so if I got to go to a sister who actually going to have to help me out with some of this spiritual information and spiritual understanding, and that's what I'll do, and that's where the Most High will lead me. I said that's just personally and how I see things. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's welcome to, entitled to believe however it is they want. I said, but there's certain things that I need to learn about, and I can't do that on my own. So therefore, and I can admit that. So therefore, the Most High will lead me to the people that I need to learn from. And I feel like that's how it is for all of us. I said, there's other brothers and sisters who have a lot of information, a lot of understanding in different fields. So then when it's time for you to get to the certain fields, then you got to go to the master. You got to go to the other people who actually have that understanding. But see, if you're really prideful, you won't believe that. You won't think like that. You'll think that, I've kind of noticed that with a lot of people in the world. It's like, oh, well, I know everything. But like even in the world, like we have to go to different people. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But I said I can just only speak from my experiences. You know what I'm saying? I can't speak for everybody else. But but like I said, back to the topic. Do you guys see all the things that are going on as far as the war with Russia, and they're talking about all the military movements and how the United States is moving military equipment over there, like moving their F-35s over there. And they were actually. Did you guys hear about that North Korea shot one of those hypersonic missiles today or yesterday? And how they were testing a hypersonic missile that went like over 7,000 miles an hour, like Mach 10 or something like that. And how they said, well, how in it, Desert Prepper was like, how in the hell does North Korea have, Mach, they got these super hypersonic missiles and we don't have any. So that country is like bankrupt and they have hypersonic missiles. And here we are spending $750 billion a year on our military and we don't have any. That should let you know, man. They're probably not spending that $750 million or $50 billion on the military. They're probably spending it on something else. You know what I'm saying? They pause the flights, exactly. They paused the flights for like 20 minutes, he said. And they were talking about how, North Korea has these supersonic or hypersonic missiles. China has them, and so does Russia. And the United States doesn't have any. So like I said, so you can just start to see like things are not looking good. Things are not looking good. Some of the other countries might think that they're about to reign and rule and be on top, but that's not going to happen either. I said it's all about the Most High, paving the way for His people. Paving the way. He's paving the way for His people. Yeah, lots of flights being canceled too. All right, Capstone. Thank you, sir. Checking out some of the comments. But it's beautiful though, getting a chance to spend some time together, share some of this information. I wanted to get, where's my book at? I want to read a little something here. Hold on, quick. From the book from last night, it's called The Works of Daniel Defoe, and it was talking about actually how Abraham would be considered like a magician. And see, that's the thing with definitions, man. And how he was considered like one of the greatest magicians. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch this so I can read a little bit and we can read it together. If I can find it, so hold on real fast. See if I can find the part. Hold on real quick. Here. No, that's not it. Hold on. I think this is it. Hold on. Give me a second. Because it's talking about how Abraham would be considered like he was considered a magician because he had so much understanding. Let me see, was it before this page? Let's just read a little bit of it together. Okay, I think this is it right here. All right, over here on the left-hand side. All right. Over this way, all right? All right. Philo Judaeus carries it further than any of the most ancient writers, okay, of the sages, and says that by his kind of magic, that is by astrology and observation of the heavenly bodies, their motions and revolutions, Abraham, who was certainly a very great magician, arrived to the knowledge of the true God, even before he came out from Ur of the Chaldees. That is to say, he gathered from the wise government, the wonderful order, okay, and motion, and the immovable decrees. Okay, hold on. Hold on here. Decrees and revolutions, okay, of the heavenly bodies. That there must be an infinite, wise, and intelligent being who, as he was the first cause of other beings. So he was likewise the great director of their motions, and by his appointment, everything and the whole system of their operation was guided and appointed. Okay. In short, that Abraham learned to know the Creator by the contemplation of the creature, and doubtless, as the study of nature directly leads to us to the great author of nature. So Abraham, quick. So Abraham, by his sincere application to the first and his sincere desire to be led into the number of the last, God, who knew those desires of his heart to be sincere and aiming at a right end, was pleased to make a more clear discovery of himself to him by vision and revelation, teaching him more than he could ever have obtained. Okay, and by all, hold on fast. Got these notifications popping up over here. Okay. Obtained by all the study and application imaginable. It is not doubted, however, that Abraham was the first teacher of astronomy and of arithmetic in the world, and perhaps of the several branches of the mathematics. The ancients affirm that he taught the Phoenicians, that is to say, the Canaanites, among whom lived, and the Egyptians also. Okay, hold on. That is to say, the Canaanites among whom he lived, and the Egyptians also, all the knowledge they had, whether philosophical or divine. Thus, then, whatever notions we have now entertained of magic as diabolical, yet certainly, as our Savior says in another case, in the beginning it was not so. In the first ages of the world, the knowledge of magic was the wisdom of nature, and nothing but ignorance brought men to prostitute themselves to the devil for the increase of their understandings. So it's showing you right there that magicians back then were definitely called that because they had a lot of wisdom and understanding. It wasn't about doing things with the devil. Okay, it was about that. So, and that's why it's very difficult to take old words and then apply them newly. You got to get what was the word how was it used back then? You see what I'm saying? So again, let's read that one again. Thus, I like that whole part there about the who gave all that information to these other nations. It is not doubted, however, that Abraham was the first teacher of astronomy and arithmetic in the world, and perhaps of the several branches of the mathematics. The ancients affirmed that he taught the Phoenicians, that is to say, the Canaanites among whom he lived, and the Egyptians also, all the knowledge they had, whether philosophical or divine. Thus, then, whatever notions we have now entertained of magic as diabolical, yet certainly, as our Savior says in another case, in the beginning it was not so. In the first ages of the world, the knowledge of magic was the wisdom of nature, and nothing but ignorance brought men to prostitute themselves to the devil for the increase of their understanding. So, you're kind of giving the devil credit for getting that understanding. Okay? Got my weight right there on the floor. But, so yeah, it's crazy, but you're kind of like figuring out like how these things are. Big Levi here. Great seeing you here, Big Levi, if you're here. But here, They conspired to ban Urban of the Chaldees, but boomerang back at them, huh? Yeah. Like I said, so it just kind of like I that book kind of called me because it was like talking about how what was magic like back then, what was it considered back then. We can't always go off of the the definitions of now because someone made a great point. I don't know if you guys saw this comment, but it's like okay, the three wise men that came to see Yahushai were called the what? The three magi. So in the Bible it tells you right there that the three wise men were actually the three magi. So the magi or magic was, synonymous with being wise, wisdom. So even if people always say, "Oh, show me in the Bible, show me where in the Bible where it says magic." Well, there you go. The three wise men were considered the magi. It wasn't that they were doing crazy stuff, but what were they doing? They were using the stars to figure out prophecy. They were using the stars to pinpoint where Yahushai was. So therefore, they were using what they would call magic, which was actually just wisdom and knowledge and understanding. So we could be considered magicians right now because we're getting knowledge again. We're getting understanding once again. And our understanding is far above what the normal people of the world have. So there you go. So the Bible is actually confirming everything that you just saw right there. The Bible is confirming that the magic right there that was pertaining to our people, not the other nations, but the magic that our people was performing had to do with wisdom and understanding. So it's beautiful, isn't it? It's beautiful how the Most High works. I said people are using the definitions that are from pretty much the churches. The churches were the ones who made this wisdom to be diabolical, to make this wisdom understanding. They changed it to something negative. Exactly, the three magi were possibly druids. You're definitely correct. You're definitely correct. I mean, there's at this point now, there's nothing that's off the table. When you start talking about the Druids and the things, that hey, if they were still that powerful nation, they were that powerful nation during the time when Yahushua was born and during the time that he was growing up. If they were that powerful nation, then would it make sense that they would probably be Druids who actually came and saw him? Because they were the ones who knew the stars. They knew how to read, astrology. They knew how to do all of that. You see that? So it would make sense that it would be some people like that. I just think it's just absolutely beautiful right now. And like I said, this world was given into the hands of the wicked. So if this world was given to the hands of the wicked, that would mean then that their whole aim, and it talks about it in the other books, was to spread ignorance. Because our church was here to spread knowledge and understanding. So it would make sense then that their church is going to do the opposite, right? So their church is going to spread ignorance. Right? They're going to change words. They're going to change definitions of words. They're going to change who the people of the book are. They're going to change prophecy. They're going to change how prophecy is going to be fulfilled. They're going to write us out of history. They're going to write themselves into history. It all starts to make so much sense, does it not? And then, and the Bible gives you clues. You're going to have to become as a child. Again, you're going to have to relearn everything. You talk about the Return of the Jedi. You talk about, Star Wars. You must unlearn what you have learned, Luke. They tell you in everywhere that you're going to have to, so you really, you can't be connected to these churches and think that you're going to be taught anything different. They're all the churches, are all the same. They're all teaching ignorance. They're all teaching you how to stay asleep. So it doesn't matter, what they say or how they portray themselves. Are they pushing knowledge? Are they pushing understanding? Because the only ones that are going to be pushing knowledge and understanding and growth are going to be the Most High's chosen people. It's going to be the church of the Most High. Anyone who's pushing, any group or organization is pushing, ignorance. Don't read, don't study. We're good. We got everything. We got everything for you. Those are all parts of the Church of Mahan. They're all the same. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if it's like when we're enslaved, they just gave us a black pastor and said it was a black church and made it sound like it was teaching something totally different, but they taught exactly the same doctrine that the other churches or other schools did, you know? I said, because yeah, I mean, it's nothing new under the sun, and they really can't teach anything else because they don't have it. Exactly, Brother Capstone. We are those druids. We just need to gain spiritual understanding. Uh-huh. And they will teach you, who you were in the previous life. Yes, I totally agree with that as well. I totally agree with that. This was not our first rodeo. This is not our first go around. And they said we're all learning together. They said this is not like one person has all the understanding. I said it's not. That's not how this is. I said I just think about the Most High and how many times He's had me say certain things or bring certain things out that pretty much cause contention. And like I said, a lot of times it's just to test people. I don't do it to test people. I said the Most High does, because you know what? Like, I would say certain things, and then I would order a book, and then that book might not be here for a week or two, and so people will say certain things or have certain kinds of understanding, and then all of a sudden I'll get this book, and this book will be like speaking exactly to whatever it is that the other people are saying, or they're trying to contradict or trying to say, and like I didn't quite. I mean, I didn't quite understand how about magic, the definition was like that they were like wise men. And then when you start to get that concept, and all of a sudden you start thinking about, oh, well, that's the three wise men, the magi. I said that confirms that too. I said just but see, this is all prophecy. This is I believe this is the esoteric fulfillment of prophecy. I think this is like the hidden fulfillment of prophecy that the vast majority of the world is totally unaware of. You know what I mean? Like we are fulfilling the vast majority of the prophecies in the Bible. But the vast majority of the people in the world have absolutely no clue, and nor do they want to know that we are actually fulfilling the prophecies in the Bible. You know what I mean? I mean, so it's like it talks about how we were going to lose our heritage, and then we're going to get it back at the end. How we were going to be asleep, and then we're going to be awaking at the end of the times of the Gentiles. But you don't hear any churches talking about that. You don't hear any of them talking about us awakening. They talk about Ish going back into the land, but how is that awakening? How is that like losing all of your heritage and then awakening at the end? They don't even try to even fulfill. They don't even try to explain that. Just like the Valley of Dry Bones, and those books talk about how the church won't even touch those certain kinds of scriptures. They won't even try to touch it because it's like you can't find another group that has been absolutely destroyed, and there would just be bones, in the middle of a valley, besides us. And if you start to try to say that's the church, they would say certain things like that. Oh, that's the church. No, that's not the church. The church was not destroyed. The church is on top. The church runs everything. So you can't say that. So and they don't want to talk about who's lost their heritage, who's been destroyed, who's had everything taken away from them. Because then that's just going to, put a bullseye on their back because they were the ones who've actually done all the destroying. Because like I said, but they don't understand that as we grow and we get our knowledge and understanding back, that is going to, pretty much accelerate their destruction. So therefore, they're just kind of just quiet. They don't, they see these things happening all around them, but they don't understand why. They see all these things getting worse and worse, but they don't understand why. They see all these things getting horribly, wrong, and things not going back to normal, and then they're confused because they're not being raptured away, and they don't understand why. Why are we still here? We should already been gone, and that's when they're going to be pissed at their pastors. They're going to be pissed at these priests and pastors that have lied to them about absolutely everything. When if we get removed and they're still here, when all this stuff goes on, I said, you imagine, because it talks about that in the apocalypse of Abraham, I don't know, apocalypse of Elijah, about how pissed off these people are. The Magi fallen apart. Yes, I said how upset they're going to be when they realize that they put their faith, they backed the wrong horse in this race. And right now they're getting some people are getting opportunity to follow the Most High, getting all these getting all of these notifications. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing we're living to see these things happen right now. I said as we grow and connect, you just start seeing everything around you falling apart. I'm seeing it more and more every day. These things are happening, and these people are just having a very difficult time. I love all the comments. I love you guys having these conversations and sharing this information. I have to go back and watch the video later on and check the comments out, because I can't always read them all the whole time. I'd be sitting here reading the whole time and not saying anything. They're definitely going to be so upset. Because when you look at the churches, I said all they've done is their whole aim has been to keep you from reading, to keep you from learning, spreading ignorance. That is, I mean, now I understand. Like when I went to college and I was doing the seminary schools, and after these guys all got out of seminary, and they're all these dudes are pastors, and when I started getting more understanding and I wanted to have conversations with them, how they just ignored me. I said one dude, I thought we were hella tight in college. We were real cool, and then all of a sudden, I started getting some more understanding and talked about this Bible that I got that had all this understanding. All of a sudden, I ain't heard from this dude in years, you know. And if I ever try to, reach out to him, it's just, yeah, a quick talk or a quick response, and that's it. Oh, no, 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 it's cool. I prefer you guys to go ahead and talk, and I definitely have to go back and check out your guys' conversations. And like I said, that's what this is for. This is for the family. This is for us all to, spend time together and share information. I said this is an absolutely beautiful time. That's why I said I got to make sure to make it a point to have more lives like this so we can do this together. Definitely keeping the laws as best we possibly can. You know, I'm way behind on the on the messages here. Yeah, they don't. Like I said, people don't. They don't want. They don't want to. Well, they don't want to listen to us. They want to believe that they actually, have the answers, and they don't want to admit the fact that they don't. that they don't have the answers. Hey, that's got to be a tough. That's got to be a tough thing when you've held yourself up as the one who has all the answers all this time, and that you're the one. Like, if you have any questions, hey, you can come talk to me. Hey, brother, how's your walk with Christ going? How's your walk with Christ? You doing it? You growing? I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm growing. Yeah, I say I'm growing, but not the way probably you think I'm gonna be growing. You know, and you start saying, hey, I got this Bible and it's got all these precepts and it's got these books that we're all taking out. And I said, and it's saying something totally different than what you hear in these churches. And you want to have a discussion? Yeah, no, I'm kind of busy, man. I got this thing, that I forgot about. I gotta go. Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes now. But it's a beautiful thing. Yeah, yeah, and they know how it's going to end. These pastors know, because how we know they know is because they know what to avoid in the scriptures. They know what to not to talk about. Like I said, the fact that they will not talk about the valley of dry bones, and the Blavatsky book was talking about that. How there's certain topics and certain things that they will not touch, and it was like the book of Revelation, okay, and definitely the book and the valley of dry bones. They said they just will not teach on that. And that was the thing. Like, we read Revelation 2, and I didn't figure that whole thing about the fourth part until I got that understanding about the fourth part, and then you start to see that in the Bible about them coming over here to the fourth part. I didn't understand that either until later on. But you got to have that context. Once you get that context, and then you start reading this scripture, like, hold on, this stuff already happened. Y'all make it sound like this stuff is happening in the future. This stuff already happened. So y'all think you're slick. You guys think, oh yeah, this is all stuff's gonna happen in the future. Nah, man, you've been fulfilling this stuff the whole time. So you all been fulfilling this stuff the whole time. And the bones are definitely shaking off the dust now. And like I said, they're really good. They're really good with mixing in some truth. And it's not all lies. They may mix some truth, but they put enough lies in there to throw everything off. So, and it's gonna be the same with a lot of these books. Some truth. A lot of these truths. The other these books have a lot of truth. They're confirming many things that are actually in the Bible. It's just they give you like a different perspective. If you look at it from the left hand side, it's one way. You look at it from the right hand side. If you see an accident and you're at different angles, you're at different places, you're gonna see things totally different. But that's how it is even with the fulfillment of prophecy. See, they're looking at prophecy from their angle. They're looking at prophecy from how they've been fulfilling the will of Jesus, and they've been winning souls for Jesus. Yeah, we made some mistakes. Yeah, we've killed a few of you, many of you, but that's okay. That's just par for the course. I said, but we see it like, hold on, y'all been effing with us this whole time. Y'all been destroying us. Y'all been doing this. Y'all been doing that. You haven't paid for anything. This is that. So it depends on, so our view of prophecy is going to be totally different than how they're going to see it. So now we're seeing all these things happening, with Russia and with the United States, with China, with North Korea, with Iran. And I said, we're seeing it from a totally different perspective. We're like, oh, okay. All right, Most High, we see you working, Most High. We see you working for your people. And they see it from like, oh man, things are just not getting better. Things are getting, and well, what can we do to make things just go, calm down, and we can just go back to living life like we used to. And it's like, and we like, no, no, no. We don't want things to go back like it used to. Hey, Most High, keep it coming. Keep it coming. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, so it just all depends on your perspective, you know? Like from from their perspective, we are the devil. Because, I know Brother Hawu did a video about that. Like, from their perspective, at devil would be an adversary. So, we're adversaries to them, enjoying their blessing. That's what it talks about in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2. you know so we look at them as being the adversary. We look at them as, hey, you guys have been doing everything against us. So it's all about perspective and prophecy being fulfilled. They never, when we talk to people about like, oh well, hey, we're the people of the book, they don't want to hear that, because they don't want to hear that, even though it makes sense, even though we can prove it. They don't want to hear that. Exactly. Is your sentiment too? Exactly. You reap what you sow. Exactly. We all reap what we sow. You know, none of us are perfect. Yes, you're right. And they let us say all the time, well, none of us are perfect. You're right. We weren't perfect, and we've been paying. But see, the thing is, the difference is we've been paying for our sins. That's where you guys get it. It says we've been paying for our sins. You guys have not. So you're right. Everyone makes mistakes. None of us are perfect, but we've been paying. We've been getting our asses kicked for the last, few thousand years. I said, and you have not. You've been doing the ass kicking. And that's why, oh boy, New York Prepper seems to think that they're always going to be on top, because that's what they've been doing for such a long time. But again, it's all about perspective. That's what they're used to seeing. They're used to seeing themselves always being victorious. They just say love, exactly, even though they haven't shown any love to us at all. Oh, we gave you guys Obama, so therefore it makes up for all the, Obama was a president. We gave you guys Obama, so therefore, that fixes everything. And you can keep Obama. We don't want him either. He didn't do anything for us either. Exactly. Fishing season is definitely almost over. You're right about that. I got a couple people that are still coming in, and they just very few, not very many people, but they come in with their comments and stuff like that. And I would just tell them, hey man, if you don't, I'm not feeling this information. Okay, well just feel your way on out the door, man. Go feel your way to another channel. I said, this is not the, we're trying to get you into. If you agree, cool. If not, cool. I said, I always tell people all the time to research the information for yourself. If you agree with us, beautiful. If it's not, that's cool too. I said, it's not for everybody. I said, but see, that was like before, when we, like I said, I talked about before in the videos. When we knew thought we were down here, and we just got like a little bit of understanding. If someone said, I don't agree, you're like, oh, hey brother, let me have some time with you. Let me get you on game. Let me show you this, and that. So I'm like, we're not like, we're up here. If you're down here and you don't want it and you don't get it, okay, well, hey, there's nothing I can do for you. And I'm not coming down here to show it to you. I said, there's plenty of videos. I said, out here. I said, if you look at my stuff, you can. I put the information up. I don't just give you opinion. I show you where I get the information from, and then you can go and research it yourself other places. I said, but I'm not going to waste my time, coming down to break everything down to you. I mean, I've done that many times. I'm sure all of us have, where we've tried to explain things to people, and you talk and talk and talk and talk, and you've wasted all this time on this one person, and they don't come up, they don't get it, whatever else. I'm like, I could have been doing I could have been, working on my own salvation. I could have been studying, and trying to get my own things, together. And I've been sitting there wasting my time on this dude, you know. So like I said, I'm very particular on who gets my time, and who I spend my time on. I said I don't give my time to just anybody and everyone at this point. I said I got too much of my own stuff to be trying to figure out. So I'm trying to grow. So I'm trying to get to other topics. I'm trying to get more into spiritual aspects of things as well. That's been something that I've been lacking. That's something that I'm not I don't have as much knowledge of the spirit world and everything like that. Like that was not given to me as like a natural thing. So therefore I need to, cultivate that. I need to work on that. And like I said, we all have certain things that we're good at and certain things that we need to work on. And now I'm not spending my time on other people trying to, get them up on game. I said, I'm going to study. I'm going to look at a lot of spiritual things that I'm gravitating to. And that's it. A lot of people don't want to. They want you to do it. They want you to do it for them. I'm like, nah. I said, nah, not here. And beautiful. I'm just checking out you guys, checking out the comments. Beautiful. Yeah, well, knowing prophecy in part, of course. I said, no one knows it all exactly, but the Most High has given us clarification. You know what I'm saying? The Most High has given us more clarification now at this time. I said because it's about His people. Prophecy always revolves around His people. It's always revolved around us. And I said, and as long as they hidden who we were, we could never figure out that all these things that were happening, you know, for us, either for us or against us. You know what I mean? Very true, Capstone. It is important to know who you were before you can prevent or correct previous mistakes. Know thyself. Exactly. We don't know to come to the Father if we didn't know that we were the Father's children. If we didn't know that we were the Father's children, then we didn't know that we had access to the Father. We thought we had to go through the churches. You know what I mean? We thought we had to go to PASA. We had to go, the pastor. We had to go to the priest. We figured we thought we had to go through them. And now, because we thought we were Gentiles. But once we realized who we are, we're like, hold on, man, I don't need to talk to you. I don't need to go to you. I said, I can go directly to my Father. We're the ones that they need to be coming to in order to get access to our Father. See, and that's a beautiful thing. It's like, oh, well, if you want access to my Father, if you want access to my daddy, then you're going to have to come through us. And the Most High is just making it so difficult for them. They're just like, oh no, I'm not. These niggas, I'm not going with these niggas. No, I'd rather go to hell. Okay, well, that's your choice. They did. It's like we've been going to them the whole time, trying to get, trying to find our way to heaven, and they have no clue how to get there. When the whole time it was actually us that they actually need to cleave to. Isn't that a beautiful thing? How the Most High just switched it up on them, and you can just see who's going to swallow that pride. Who's going to swallow that pride? Who's going to swallow that pride and follow us? And that's the thing. When you understand who you are, when you get this understanding, and you understand who you are, then you understand that your time is valuable, that access to you is valuable. You know what I'm saying? You remember we used to have all those Tony Robbins. They used to go on. These guys used to talk all this, this positive talk and this and that. I'm like, well, you're right with some of the stuff, but it's referring to our people. Know thyself, know where you're at, know what position you're being held at. Know who gets access to you. You see what I'm saying? I said, just absolutely beautiful times right now. Exactly, our daddy's definitely playing chess. Because I used to go to Crystal Cathedral, and oh my God, what was that pastor's name? Oh, I forgot his name. You guys know what was his name? The dude from Crystal Cathedral. The pastor. Damn, what's his name? If you guys remember his name, I'd appreciate it. I forgot his name. Robert Schuller. There we go. Thank you. That dude was like straight motivational speaker. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to go to their uh what was it? A youth group. So like his daughter was like head of the youth group and stuff like that. So I mean he came one time to one of our youth groups. Old boy flew in on a chopper, came in on a helicopter, you know, all done up and stuff with nice jewelry and everything else. And I'm just like, dude was straight motivational speaker, man. You know what I'm saying? And he would like do his little sermons and make his little faces. And it was crazy because my pops, yeah, he passed away. Yeah, I said my pops, you know, and my family was like all deep into, you know, going to that church and stuff like that. So like I said, it was just, it's crazy. Yeah, I said I'm sure he's passed away by now. He was old when I was young. You know, I said, but yeah, I went to that church and stuff, and I can't call it church, man. It was straight motivational speakers. You know what I'm saying? You know, just it was just all these little quotes and these little sayings and stuff like that. You know, but that's what they do. You know, and that dude made bank. You know, what that dude was making bank on that spot. Where he would have the what was it? That whole like Easter show, and they have like a Christmas show, and I mean that stuff was nice, man. I said, but it's just crazy because you go all these years, you don't learn anything, and then but then when you come into the truth, and you understand, you start looking back, you start realizing how they just put these spells over the people, how they controlled Joseph Prince. Oh my God, yes. Yep. I mean, they just straight motivational speakers. And it's like, well, how are you going to motivate you to do motivation speaking now? You know what I'm saying? Like how you motivate these people now when things are going well, you can do that. But right now, everything's collapsing around you. So how are you going to motivate the people now? Eventually, you guys are going to have to pay for not telling these people the truth. They're going to realize that you guys have been lying to them about absolutely everything. And right now, you can already see, you know, the fruits of their labor, the fact that they have this horrible foundation, you know, of lies, and that they cannot tell these people the truth, and how bad things are getting. You died 2015, okay? Yeah, he died a while ago. It was crazy because his church ended up being taken over by the Catholic Church and all this stuff, man. So but like so the Catholics actually have Crystal Cathedral now. Yeah, but it's just all that money though. But you can just tell though. Like I said, his daughter was cool at the when she used to come and work at the youth group. But then kind of like later on when she got, they kind of like elevated her up. She kind of forgot who we were and everything else. So money just changes up people. But like I said, those are all just things that you learn. You just kind of learn. A huge organ, exactly. I said, there's just a lot of lessons that you learn. Growing up, you start to see how the Most High was already showing how corrupt it was, so that when He wakes us up at the end, you'll go back and you'll remember how corrupt that stuff was. So I actually went to his house. The whole youth group got to go to his house, Robert Schuller's house once. Man, badass house, nice house in OC, hidden. So I don't remember exactly where it was. I said, but it was a nice house. But hey, but you see, they have what the hell is that? They had like some other retreat down in San Juan Capistrano. I said, just living it up, bruh, living it up. But hey, that's all part of this, man. So Most High give us opportunity to kind of see how these people live, and it was crazy because my family would just be looking up to these people, like looking up to them, like, oh man, they're so blessed, and this. And I'm like, all the while these people have been just lying to these people the whole time, stealing that money and lying the whole time, and I'm sure all of us have seen it. All of this stuff, just crazy. Living deliciously, exactly. Living deliciously, and that's exactly what they were doing. But like I said, it's been a beautiful journey, though. I'm sure everybody has a story like that. I think we all have stories like that. There are things that the Most High has been showing us our whole lives, and now at the end, like I said, we're getting context and we're getting understanding. And like I said, now you're starting to see how everything is falling apart around these people, and they don't want to believe the fact that they're going to have to cleave to the Most High. No, I didn't play basketball at Modern Day, no. But yeah, no. But it wasn't that good, bruh. They recruit from all over the country. They get people from all over the country. But it's just funny how like these Catholic schools, like they don't have to actually follow the rules of the regular, the regular schools. Regular schools can only get people that live in their districts. These fools can go and get people from freaking, back east, Africa, up north, down south, whatever else. Just crazy, but that's just how this is. And I'm like, how's this fair? All these Catholic schools, I'm sure all over the country. I said they don't have to follow the rules; they get to do whatever the hell they want to do. But that's kind of like, hey, that's what they've done all over the world, right? That's what they've done all over the world. But now that's all coming to an end. I used to remember BET. Oh yeah, I love that station, man. Watching them videos all the time. Like Notre Dame, no conference, exactly right. Get to play against whoever they want, do whatever they want. So we're so good, we don't even need a conference. We do what the hell we want. Mm-hmm. Because you just, when you start to get the understanding, you just go to different things. You start to just, damn, how the hell they get away with doing this stuff? Exactly. We are the fighting Irish. I mean, they just exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like they done stole all of everything, our mascots. We were the fighting Irish, and they took that too. Didn't leave us with nothing. Yeah, Esau's trembling exactly. No, I don't have that book yet. The 72 Names of God. No, I don't have that book yet. Another prepper. I got another notification of another prepper making another video. I'm sure how they're going to get out of this mess. How things are going to, hey, we're just going to need to run to the mountains, run to the hills. I got my bug out bag, got my bug out location. Most High gonna get you there too, bruh. We thought we had bug out bags and we had bug out locations when the Spaniards got here too, and that didn't work out for us either. So don't worry, it's not gonna work out for you either. You know what I'm saying? I said our people thought, oh, we'll just go to the hills. We'll go hide up there. Most High got us up there too. Most High sent them plagues up there up to the mountains and took us out down there up there too. Our own people were turning against us. Oh yeah, he's over here. I'll take you to him. You know what I'm saying? So I said that's not gonna happen either. I said no, we didn't get out of this ass whooping, and neither are you. Full Spectrum is losing his mind. Yep. Uh-huh. I just kind of like just laugh because it's like, they're seeing how everything is falling apart. Before they used to kind of, come up with their little ways of how they're going to be the ones that are going to, survive, and they're going to be the ones that are going to be able to rebuild everything. And I'm like, yeah, not working like that. Not running away like Esau, exactly. Wow. I'm on top of a mountain and the plague is tearing these people up. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can't get away from it. Yes, I'm actually gaining weight, but thank you though, Mr. Space Orbson. Yeah, I've been here for a while, I guess. The tiny houses, yep. I totally agree with that, Blessed. You better stay where you're at. It says you are scattered where you are for a reason. I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. We're all put placed where we're supposed to be at. Thank you, New Enlightenment. Appreciate that. And like I tell people all the time, you don't got to agree with everything that I put out there. I said, hey, this is information the Most High gives me. If it's for you, cool. If not, hey, no, but do some research, figure it out yourself. So that video that I shared this morning, I said it's got like it confirmed a lot of the things that we've been teaching these last few weeks. Added a couple more things in there. I said, but the main thing is that you got to have perspective on who is it talking about, who are the people that it's talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one thing that like they all want to give you the information, but they don't want to talk about how we are the Hebrews, how we were the ones that were spreading all this information, that we were the ones the Most High had given this information to, and that we were the ones that were given that task of spreading this truth worldwide. They used it as oh we're gonna spread the truth worldwide, but you're not, their truth is ignorance, so they just spread it ignorance worldwide, and that's what these churches have been doing, and they still do today. Anyone trying to keep you from studying and reading and growing, I said, is all part of the Church of Mahan. And they said they're very consistent with it. You know, they always try to stop you from learning and stop you from chasing after the Most High. That's their MO. That is like their main goal, it seems like. Definitely those days are gone, definitely. I, I'm not sure, maybe Miss Ebby, another brother with the answer. I haven't spoken with him. Maybe I'll reach out to him. I've just been really, really busy with a lot of other things right now. Like I haven't even done any of the phone calls and call-in shows. I was doing those a lot when I couldn't see, when I was blind, and my boy, my son Isaiah was helping me out with a lot of that. So I'm not sure if the Most High puts it on me to do some more of those. I will. I said, but there's so much information that the Most High has me putting out right now. I said, we'll see if we definitely can do that or not. But I know brother Big Levi does like a lot of call-in shows where you guys can call in and share information with him. So you know, if you need to get some information out, I know you can go to Big Levi's channel and do that as well. Definitely, Kiki. The air is definitely different. They know that the change is here. Very true. Memsa, Yasharel. 300 years of no reading. Now we have people who look like us telling us to stick with 2 or 3 books. Really, really, I think not exactly. Yeah, that's it. Hundreds of years of not reading, not studying. And now the Most High is, allowing us to get our information back. Yeah, I'm doing that. But that's me, though. You know what I'm saying? And that's us. We're all doing that over here. It's a beautiful thing, too. And the churches were all responsible for keeping that. That was the one thing that they were all confederate with. Don't let them read. Don't let them study. Don't let them figure this stuff out. Don't let them start to realize that they're the people of the book. Because once they figure that out, that's just how they're going to get on their path to figuring out this other information is theirs too. And when people are so like worried about like, well, if you're gonna if you do certain things, you're gonna fall back into into destruction. See, our destruction has an expiration date, so it's not like we're gonna fall right back into it and going through another 400 years of destruction. I said the Most High is going to give us back our knowledge, going to give us back our traditions, going to give us back our heritage, and He's going to make the other people pay. That is written. That is prophecy. That's exactly and that's what's going to happen. It's not like, okay, well, if you start to do this or you start to study that, you're going to fall off and you're going to go right back into what you were in, back into slavery again. I said, no, that's not how this is working out. Estate sales, garage sales, definitely a good place to find books. Exactly. Very true. Most of the black preachers are Masons. They're Confederate. Yeah, true. You cannot stop prophecy. Exactly. Exactly. It's not even in the perverted scriptures. Exactly. That we're just going to go back into slavery again, or back in, if we start to read or we start to get information, that we're going to be, damned again. I mean, come on now. Yeah, there's a lot of great information in the call-in shows. Definitely, a lot of people share a lot of great information. Like I said, it's our whole nation is growing. Our whole nation has information. Yeah, we got a lot of information to catch up on. I mean, we got hundreds of years of information that's been hidden from us. You want to be a magician? How funny! That's all praises to the Most High with that Zohar and the Druids and all that information. That's all praises to the Most High. That's the Father who brought all that out. Brother Abdullah Seer brought all that out as well. Brother Main's bringing out information. Big Levi's bringing out information. I said, so it's a beautiful thing. You got a whole lot of different brothers and you guys can get information from. Healing and restoration, exactly. All right, fam. I'm going to go ahead and cut out right now. It's beautiful hanging out with you, and we'll definitely do this again very, very soon. But it says, all praise to the Most High, Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. Shalom, family.